Hi, we're creating again. In times of social distancing, I decided to do more art again. So this time I wanted to share a technique with you that I learned at a seminar and I think is really cool. You need watercolor paper, you need a waterproof ink. My lecturer told us that the ink Scribtol by Pelikan is the best one for this technique. She tried different materials, but this one was the best. And also you need opaque white, which is not waterproof. First I'm outlining my drawing with the black ink. Yeah, this is gonna take a while and I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about now, because I'm just outlining. There's nothing else to say about that. I told you about the technique, what you're gonna need. It's gonna take ages, by the way. This video took me, I guess, half a week, which is fast because I was working from home, so I had some time to film this. But the thing about this technique is that after every step you have to let the drawing or painting, you have to let it dry, and the ink or the opaque white or whatever, it has to be completely dry before you start with your next layer, or else you'll get some funky effects, I guess. Sometimes you want that, but it's hard to control it, and I'm working on controlling these effects on the drawing at the moment, and you're gonna see what I mean a bit later in the video. As you can see, I'm still outlining. I'm gonna probably put it in the title as well. It's a drawing, painting, whatever. I don't know what to call this. It's a piece of art of Billie Eilish. And if you're a fan of Billie Eilish, of her music especially, then you might wanna check out my cover of Everything I Wanted, which went up last week, I think, or even the week before. I'm not sure at the moment, but I think it turned out pretty nice. And if you wanna listen, feel free to listen. I would appreciate it. I'm honestly quite a big fan of Billie Eilish. I think her style and personality is really cool, and I also really like her music, so I'm pretty excited to see what she's gonna continue doing, because she's so young. She's gonna do great things, I hope, and I'm excited to see what she's gonna do next. I'm almost finished with my outline here. As you can see, there's only the neck portion left. And after finishing the outline, you gotta let it dry, let the ink dry. And then this is the opaque white I used. It's just a standard bottle. I guess I tried to get a bigger bottle than the usual. And then you're gonna paint everything that's supposed to be white in the end, or the color of your paper. You're gonna paint everything that you want to be white in the end with this opaque white thing. And you're gonna paint over your outlines that you did with the ink before. They're gonna be visible, don't worry, but just gonna paint over it. And I painted this, then I let it dry completely, and then I painted it again with the opaque white to get a thicker layer, because we're gonna paint over everything with the black ink again soon, and the opaque white is like a protection layer for the stuff that needs to be white in the end, so you don't want any ink. If you don't want any ink leaking through at some specific places, then you need to layer the opaque white there, like a lot, so you don't have black ink in those spaces. And here we go, painting everything black. Looks dramatic, and then I forgot to maybe protect my desk, so we're painting everything black. Everything. And don't be afraid to do that. It's gonna look epic in the end, I promise, I promise. So the thing is, we painted this whole thing black with the waterproof ink. Now we're gonna wash off, once it's dry, of course, we're gonna wash off the opaque white because that's not waterproof. And it's gonna leave, as you can see, it's gonna leave everything that you painted with the opaque white white-ish, I guess. Depends on how thick the layer was and if anything of the black ink maybe dripped through, then it's obviously gonna stay because it's waterproof, as you can see. The black parts are not going anywhere. And when you're washing it off, you gotta be careful not to rip your paper. That's why you use watercolor paper, because it can handle the water a bit better than usual paper. And then you leave it out to dry again. And because that wasn't enough, you could leave it there, but I decided to touch up some of the outlines and fill in the brows, because I tried to leave the brows black, but it didn't work as well because I wasn't too careful with the opaque white, gotta be honest. So I touched up the outlines so it looked better. Once you washed off the opaque white, some of the outlines that you drew underneath might look a bit grayish, depends on, I guess the combination of materials, how thick the layer of the opaque white was, how well you washed it out in the sink, and stuff like that. You just gotta try and figure out which combination works best, I guess. And as you can see, there are some blotches, I'm gonna just say blotches, I don't know if it's even a word, but some blotches of black ink on her face, which is leaving some really interesting effects, I feel like, and I like it. But you gotta be aware of that. That can happen, and that will probably happen, especially in the first trials. And it's very, very important that you leave everything until it's like completely dry. The last black layer, I leave it overnight usually, so it dries completely before I wash it out. And then I wanted to add some green into her hair, because she has this really cool hair dye, like with the neon roots, and I thought I wanted to try to do that, so I mixed some acrylic paint and then I just painted her roots, because why shouldn't we do that? It's gonna be a cool pop of color in the painting, and I think it looks pretty cool. And I had so much paint left over after mixing that I also painted a kind of abstract canvas, but I'm not showing it here. Video would be way too long. But gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with that canvas now, because it's green. it's multiple shades of green. After the green acrylic paint has dried, I went in again with the black ink to define the hair a bit more, because obviously with the acrylic paint you paint it over your outlines and they're gonna look weak now and bad, so I added them again, added some more as well, and did some finishing touches. And that's almost it. Video's almost over. I hope you enjoyed this technique. I'm gonna put the name of my lecturer who taught me this technique in the description. I couldn't find a website, Facebook site, or an Instagram profile of her. I don't know. She doesn't seem to have it, but I'm gonna leave her name in the description so you can look her up. And that's it. That's a beautiful technique, and it's really fun, and I really like it. Hope you enjoyed, hope you maybe learned something, If you have any questions about the technique, you just feel free to ask me. I'm gonna try my best to answer. And here we go, finished painting.